What are you bringing to the table? What do you bring to the table? I am the table. You talk about you sitting at my table and you say, what do I bring to the table? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is LolaAjisafe here. We're reviewing Ready to Love. We don't want to talk about season this because we keep talking about it. So we just know this is episode 8 and it's Operation Meet the Homie. Alright, before we start breaking it down, housekeeping rules. Please don't forget to like the video. Thank you. And more importantly, a line, a phrase, a comment, a monologue. I'm going to read it all, we get to go back and forth. Funny enough, that's one of the parts I enjoyed the most, surprisingly, as an introvert, on the spectrum of introversion. Surprisingly, I really enjoyed that interaction. And last of all, if you haven't subscribed, stop checking out with me, hit this subscribe button. All right, let's get into it. Opens up Gentleman's Lounge. Uncle Nephew Tommy arrives, the guys are seated. I'm just gonna tell you what stood out to me. Uncle Paul say something. I'm looking like, bro, you still here? Tori say something else. He talk about the table getting smaller and smaller. I'm like, oh, you still here too? See how it is going. Let's see. Like, I'm ready. I'm feeling some kind of way. You know how I felt about it last week. I'm feeling some kind of way as they're opening, and these are the two people for some reason, like the producers are thinking like I'm thinking, and so they pan to them like they get some focus. That's why I remember them. Anyway, so he breaks it down that, guys, this week your ladies, your top interests should meet your homies so they can kind of delve and get more information on you, make it even. All right, cool. Let's see how it goes. All right, so first meeting is Paul with his homie Chill Bill. Okay, like your homie called Chill Bill. I'm a little concerned, but why should I be concerned? Paul's name is POJ. And it's thinking about something about his rap game. His stage name was POJ because they thought J started with Gigolo. Anyway, so today, Chill Bill is meant to be meeting with Dakia and Kama. I don't know if he was trying to holler at Dakia, to be honest with you, but let's see how this goes. All this is about, when we throw up the sand, who when it settles, who's with who's, like dancing musical chairs. That's what it sounds like to me, because this is episode 8. Like, other than Joy and Clifton, do you guys see any other connections? They broke up. Eric and Dakia broke up an episode ago. Laverne and what's her name, Ace, they seem to have like a cool little chemistry. Laverne was sent home last week, so all the possible matches that we recognized, there's only Joy and Clifton left, and even that, it's like, okay. So really, I to compare it to other seasons, like at this, I feel like I want to say that this late in the game, like people still playing musical chairs. I'm not impressed. Okay, but let me stay on track. So it's meant to be Carmen, Dakia, and he said Uncle Paul tried to holler at Tina. She didn't holler back. Like, what's going on? Because initially Tina had entertained Uncle Paul's interests. Seems like things are changing. What's going on? This is going to play in later, so please note, Tina didn't holler back, and they had some kind of, I don't know if they went on a date, but they had some kind of talk, remember, at the barbecue. So the kid comes in first, she sits down, meets Chill Bill. He gets talking like, what you like about him. She says somebody is protective, makes her feel safe, I don't know, supportive, something like that. But I think of note, she did say that, because I do believe Mr. Key is one who works at NASA, that she did say that at work she's the boss, but at home she doesn't want to be there at home. And so this is what I'll delve into here. And I think that makes sense. If you are a person, if you're a woman who wants to have a certain type of man, particularly a man who's considered masculine, who likes to be the provider and the protector and just be that arm, that supportive, then you must recognize that the way you are at work is not the way you're going to be at home. And I even want to say that I think most women know this. A lot of people may judge women in positions of power, but the truth is, like, being the boss is, it's all good and well, but nobody want to do that 24/7. So I get her, I feel her, and it makes perfect sense. So as the date progresses, Carmen shows up. I guess the kid didn't know Carmen was showing up. Immediately her attitude, her fences are up, like, what's she doing here? I don't know why Carmen is still doing this. Like, you don't know why she's doing here. Sis, fall back, sit down, be confident in what you need to do, and don't worry about the next man. Like, it's not about what the next man is doing, it's about you, right? Like, you meant to be real confident, or you just real insecure. Like, real insecure, 'cause that's what you're coming off as, real insecure. because you walk in there with the top of your nipple showing, and you're telling me that you're confident. Anyway, so she sits down. She got these darn blue contacts in. I'm thinking like, sis, like I told you the first episode we saw it, that those blue contacts don't work. And apparently Dakia said that Clifton, which that is a thing that said, Clifton, like keep it real, Clifton apparently had told her behind the scenes that those blue contacts don't work, sis, don't do it. Anyway, and I guess Dakia knows this too, but yeah, sis came in her blue contacts. I guess because she's not meeting up with Clifton, she came in blue contacts, and here she is. And so the friend, Chill Bill, gets talking about, how do you know, how long have you known POJ? And she's like, well, he's not POJ, he's Paul to me. I'm like, nobody's homie once they know it all. Like, he been POJ before, he knew you existed. Not to say that you should call him POJ, but what you shouldn't do, even if you think it's cute, for someone you're just meeting, like just telling from here on out he's going to be known as Paul. You can allow his boys to call him POJ, and you can just say, and of course, why would you call him POJ? You can call him Paul, but to try and say that, like, you're doing too much. In Dakia's confessional, she mentions how, like, why this lady always coming and creating tension? Like, sis, we're not competing. Dakia, thank you. Dakia, what I say? Dakia, thank you. I've been trying to tell you all along. It's not a competition. May the best man win. It's like, someone wins. Like, whoever he ends up feeling that that's the best person for him, then that's the best person for him. There's a lid for every pot. At least that's how I see. That's how I walk through this. I'm walking through this planet, walking like there's a lid for every pot. I'm not walking around thinking like there are a bunch of pots and only a couple lids. And there's not enough, enough lids, so I need to act like desperate because there's not enough lids. Nah, my G, like there's a lid for every part. I think that's the energy I'm approaching it. Like, you can choose how you approach things, because I do believe that your thoughts manifest. You can literally manifest your life. Have I mastered it completely? No, I haven't mastered it completely, but I do definitely believe that you can manifest things to you. So I'm not walking around thinking that there's less or there's lack. I'm walking around like there's enough for all of us. There's a space for every person. So walk like that and talk like that and be like that. Occupy that space, and you will manifest that. Manifestation is not just like a cool new age word. It is real. So, my sis Dakia, you're right. We're not competing with each other. Thank you very much for bringing that up. So of course, Dakia gets up, attention too much, and she walks, she says bye, Carmen, and says bye to everybody else. And as soon as she gets, what does Carmen say? Talk about, you saved the best for last. And she said that in front of the guy. The next thing she said was, get rid of the zero so you can keep the hero. You said it in front of Paul too. I'm just saying, like, if I'm Paul and that's what you're doing, that's a red flag. Like, I don't have red, like red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. I don't want that kind of energy. And I know. There's a tendency sometimes for men to miss those kind of signs and then in the relationship complain about them. Paul, I hope you saw that. I'm not impressed. It's just unnecessary for you to throw down another sister because you think that makes you look good. You look desperate and you look insecure. So anyway, Chill Bill, they break, after Carmen leaves. Actually, before Carmen leaves, he did tell Carmen that I feel like, you look commanding, like you trying to run, like aka he's trying to say you trying to run things, like you don't run me, but I'm going to keep it cute and mute because the cameras are rolling. Because the cameras weren't rolling, this is Chill Bill thinking. The cameras rolling, I would have let you know how I feel politely. I don't have to crack the whip, but sis, what you're not going to do is tell me how I'm going to refer to my old buddy because you're trying to look like cool. So anyway, she gets up and she leaves, and then when they get talking, actually Paul did say that, I won't believe say it was in his confessional, that he knows that Carmen is superficial, but bruh, what's the but there? Like, you're meant to be deep senior here, you say but. That's what you want for your life, but I don't think you want superficial. But I'm moving on. So anyway, Chill Bill says that, look, the way he's seeing it, like the two ladies are cool and everything, but he feels that Paul, the main person who he is today, would go with Dakia, and POJ, the homie hoodlum from back in the day, would go with Carmen. That makes a lot of sense. All right, next date, so meet the homie gathering, is going to be Tori, his homie Ash. Well, Ashley is the dude's name, but he said he wanted to sound masculine, so he go with Ash. Maybe he should have changed his name, because Ash, what's this, Ash Wednesday, like and what I'm not going to do is rip his name apart. And so he's meant to be meeting with Sabrina and Ace. Sabrina comes in, she comes in and give, because she know, like, like homie, Tori, the homie, that he's still feeling kind of, you know, he's still feeling kind of hurt, still feeling kind of salty, you know, feeling kind of sour. He's all in his emotions, you know. And so she decided, you know, she want to bring a peace offering, so she brings a candle. Okay, and he's looking at the gift like he says some slick, I don't know what he say in his mind or in the confessional. So what he say in confessional is what's in his mind, like, so whatever I say. So he's still on that. She don't want you, homie. I don't know what else to say, how else to say it. But she's trying to be nice. She's trying to, you know, so her, you know, pet, don't, it's okay. It's okay. I feel like that's what she's kind of trying to do. Hey. So anyway, they get talking and asking what does she want in a partner. And she says some key things which I think are important, reliable. I want a partner in crime, because really that is essential, because there gonna be some days your partner, you don't want to deal with them, you don't want to see them, they get on your nerves, but that's your partner in crime. That's your partner in crime. When all else fails, your partner in crime is the homie. So aka she wants a homie. She wants her partner to also be a homie. Makes perfect sense. You know, as they're talking, you know, Ash mentions that, weren't we met somebody else, wasn't somebody else meant to be coming? And so Ace is still not here. And what's his name? Tori. He sit right there, opens when I say he's calling her. I think it might have made sense if maybe we had stood up and excused himself. Oh, give me a minute. Because it seemed really awkward. You're with a woman, you're calling another woman. I know that's the dynamic of the show, but it just seemed kind of weird. And Sabrina said it did seem kind of weird. I did think it looked kind of weird too. Anyway, Ace didn't pick out his calls. So he hit zero. Like, and I think his I don't want to use the term desperation to reach Ace, but his eagerness to reach Ace is because he know Sabrina don't want you. She's being nice about it. She don't want you. And so I think that was the onus behind his eagerness to, he was a little too eager to reach Ace. And when he couldn't reach Ace, like his spirit dropped again. So again, he's back right down to square one. And so in front of the lady, talking to his friend, he's talking about he's saying that she's indecisive because she says she wants to take her time. No, she's not indecisive. She don't want you. Why you have to, just because, and that's I think this, here lies another problem here, is like, you know, when somebody doesn't agree with how you think, how you feel, and how you operate, you want to go ahead and make them wrong. Because just because she don't want you, don't make her wrong. Because she doesn't want you, doesn't make her indecisive. She's playing the game. Bro, you know this is a game show. Like, I don't know what we're going to do with this. Anyway, his boy says proceed with caution. AKA, bro, fall back. Don't make somebody wrong just because they don't agree with you. That's ego and lack of insight that will allow you to do that. Sitting there right in front of her face. And also when she left, talking about she's indecisive. She can't make her mind up. No, she made her mind up, but she's being nice. What she could do is drop you. But she playing the game too. And I would say if he was in that same situation as other guys have been in, they played it to the end. She played it to the end. Leave her alone. All right, next date, Demetrius, his homie Ken, meeting up with Sabrina. I was kind of surprised, like he didn't bring anybody else, but I think he followed the rules, which was your top connection. Others, they brought their top two, but he brought one person. His top connection is Sabrina. That's the person he's mainly interested in, which he said from the beginning. So of course, straight off the bat, you know, Ken coming talking about, yeah, where he rank. I don't want to hear that question anymore. That's all I have to say to him. And the next question, which I think is a daft question. I think it's a daft question to ask a woman. What are you bringing to the table? Y'all heard those memes or those sound bites in IG and TikTok where if a guy asks you, what do you bring to the table? This is what you tell him. I am the table. Don't try your life. Talk about what do you bring to the table. What do you bring to the table? You talk about you sitting at my table and you say, what do I bring to the table? Let me pull it back a little bit. Yeah, like that's I'm interviewing you. You tell me what you're bringing to the table. Like, that is such a ridiculous question to ask a woman. I'm just saying, what do you bring to the table? Woo, sir. Tatsi talks about her last serious relationship, you know, and then it comes up. A friend says something else that, you know, I don't know, she asked him, I think she did ask him, like, what kind of woman would he want or be with? And the friend brings up the fact that, you know, Demetrius would need somebody who needs to be submissive. Yeah. Sabrina was like, yeah, she needs to be in charge. She don't know if she can listen. She needs to be in charge of everything. I beg to differ here. I would like to say that submission requires strength. Submission is not a sign of weakness. Is that for everybody? No, it's not for everybody. It's not everybody's cup of tea. But if depending, and this is again, the qualifier here, depending on the kind of individual you're looking for, because all come in different shapes and sizes. If you want to be the leader in that relationship, I don't. But if you want to be the leader in that relationship, then by all means, that doesn't need to be part of your vocab. Y'all can do whatever you do. But if there's a certain type of individual you're looking for, a certain type of man, everybody talk about they want the masculine man, they want the alpha man, they want this, they want that. If that's what you're looking for, then there is some submission involved. And I don't think it's a curse word. I don't think it's a bad word. That might just be me having, some experience and some time. When you cut a tree and you see the rings, that kind of tells you that the tree's age. So maybe if you were to see, I've got a couple rings more than some. So maybe that's that. But I think if you need to know what you're looking for, and then you know what's in line. What you're looking for, what matches up with what you're looking for. She say that's not for her. Like, she thinks it's a sign of weakness, it's a curse word. And some people react to the word differently. Don't bug me. I think I've said this a couple times, so I'll say it again. To me, submission doesn't mean I'm a slave and I'm going to be saying, hey art thou. No, because we don't even talk to God like that. God gives us free will. How much more just a normal human being just like me? But what submission means, I believe, is two people submitting to a mission. So it's a triangle, the mission up there. God is right here and you guys are right here. So you're both submitting to the mission. But some people perceive it as a different way, and some people actually imply it as a different way. No, you submit one to the other. But it's not Bible class today, but I'm just saying. So the word submission for me brings no crazy emotions in me. It should be part of the relationship. All right, next date is Clifton with his homie, this is another Kenny, and the two ladies he's meeting are Joy and Dakia. What I did like of note here is, I believe Joy was there seated, and then Dakia came. There was a hug. Hey, how you doing? It might be awkward. It probably is awkward, but there was a mutual respect and a lack of I'm in competition with you. So it's safe to say that these two individuals, I'm pretty secure in who they are to some extent. Let's see how this goes. But at least there wasn't that weird sizing up kind of thing that was going on. So, the little part, the kid feed him son, I don't know, they talk about stuff. And I think of note that I want to bring out of this date, there was an easiness of friends cracking jokes, they're being funny. So he had asked the ladies what they like about, Clifton. They come up with, Joy says something which is kind of similar line to what his friend said, that he's funny and he is himself. Dakia says something else, but he's fun and can be serious. They come up with different qualities, but the friend kind of emphasizes something that I think Joy had just touched on, the fact that his greatest attribute is also his best asset is also his worst asset, that he keeps it real. He talks and he has no filter. He says exactly how he feels. And if you're not someone who likes people being forthright and forthcoming and honest and just straightforward, you might be offended by his demeanor. And there was an observation that Dakia made, and I hadn't really thought about it, but I guess after she said that, I started thinking she might be onto something, And what she said was that, she felt like Joy was already head over heels in love with, I won't say in love, but head over something, in lust, and with Clifton. But Clifton wasn't there yet. He was still, deciding what his options were. And I think she might be right, come to think of it. Because she's been shutting down a lot of the guys and not playing the game. She should have kept, what's his name, Paul on the hook. She shouldn't have turned him down. She shouldn't say we're friends. No, she should have kept him. She should have just kept him slinging. And who's to say that she hadn't turned other guys down either. And in ditch, friend Kenny said that he thinks Joy works best with Clifton. I mean, there's no argument here. So next date is Donovan. And what finally we see, because they showed us clips of Phil. Where's Phil going? What's going? Phil is the homie for Donovan. Apparently they've a 12-year relationship or friendship. I shouldn't say relationship. I misspoke. They had a 12-year friendship, and so they're good buddies. So they're meeting up with Sabrina and Tina. What do you know? Tina here today. Sabrina, of course, is here, so she like the hot cake, like we said last week. Once again, I note the ladies hug. That's another sign these ladies are secure in who they are. They're not competing with each other. And then Phil talk about trying to get like ranking and connections. Phil, you know better than that. Don't do that. That's how your problem started last season. So what you don't want to do is start problems with your homie. This is why you're asking her about connections. How many connections do you have and what the ranking is? No, that's just, And then of course Sabrina smartly, said where he, Donovan's come up to the leaderboard. Rightfully so. That's how she answered the question. Look at the mood of the date. Tina really seemed disconnected. Like she was there, but she was not really engaged. Something's going on. I don't know what we're going to find out, but Tina's not there because Tina's a little more like out there and lively, and she's not present. She's not present. Well, first of all, she hadn't shown up for, Paul, PO, which she ordinarily would have, should have, and now she's here, but she's not here. Like she came just to put a check and say, make sure you pay me my money. Run me my money. I'm just here to show up. Like, I don't know, just she seemed a little off. And that was one of the things that Donovan noticed after the fact. Donovan breaks down his assessment of the two ladies. To him, he says that his issue with Sabrina is that Sabrina wants children. He's saying that would not necessarily be a problem, although he has 2 kids. But his exact wording was, I would consider having more kids. For a woman who wants to have children, I would consider it. Is not an answer. It's not a good enough answer if at the point of deciding to commit and saying we're going to a marriage, that your best response is I would consider. I would consider is not a yes. It's I'm not going to say no right now. And her first husband, they had agreed that she had agreed with him that she didn't want children. I don't know. He's thinking that I don't know if he's thinking she's going, but anyway, it comes to that eventually he wants children, and that's literally what led to their breakup. He wanted children. She had said she didn't. Truth is, she didn't want them with him because we know she's delivered now. Same thing here. He talked about I would consider it is not good enough for me. And then his other concern with Tina is that Tina as a 2-year-old, does she have time to really give herself in a relationship, particularly with how she's being today? Donovan, your 2 top options are really aren't top options for you. Like this whole where episode 8, things ain't looking good. Episode 8 is looking kind of shaky with all of them. Maybe just Clifton and Joe, but all of them looking kind of shaky. So Paul decides to double back after listening to his friend. He's like, that's true, I haven't really been on a real date with Takia. Let me invite her out to get to know her better. Season 8, you're just getting to know someone. I'm not judging, I'm just saying, it's like this real musical chair thing, like where it's set to let me quickly get to see if this is someone I can sit with on the couch during the reunion. I might be wrong. But as during the date, they actually could be a good pair. On a natural condition. There's no natural condition. The lack of success of couples tells me that it doesn't work. It doesn't foster for long-lasting relationships. The format doesn't foster for long-lasting relationships. That's just so, ordinarily, because they had like a cute little back and forth, which is kind of nice, but I'm not convinced. I'm not phased. We're watching. Next thing, Tori finally gets to meet up with Ace. She meets up with him after a call. She's trying to explain to him. She starts off with complimenting him. She say he's nice. That is Tori. I'm like, sis, stop lying. Like, look at him. I'm not going to say anything else. She just complimenting him to let him down softly. She don't want him. That's what she's saying. She don't want him. And then she goes on to say that she's self-eliminated. She want to give him the wrong impression. Since her top connection, Laverne, had been voted up last week, she was done too. Sis, I'm right there with you. That's what I was thinking too. The gents' lounge happens again. It's meant to be deliberations. And then people are all over the place. And it's going to be this, it's going to be this. Then finally, Ace, what's his name? Tori mentions to Uncle Nephew Tommy that Ace didn't show up for my date. But after actually what happened was when I met up with her again, she told me she had self-eliminated. Apparently, Nephew Tommy was not aware of this. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Why wouldn't she tell production or contact someone where it's like, he's finding out through the deliberation. So he was not aware that, Ace had self-eliminated. So as the guys are just trying to do who I like, who I don't like, Uncle Nephew Tommy is aware one. Of course, production's probably telling him that too. Like, sir, something's going on. So anyway, Uncle Nephew Tommy is aware that one, Ace has self-eliminated. Everything's not looking right. these guys are like mentioning, everybody's trying to like vote everybody off at this point. Like they've never had as many different names before when they're trying to get the bottom two. So they mentioned Carmen, they mentioned Dakia, they mentioned Tina, they mentioned Sabrina, they mentioned Joy. Like, you want, okay, vote everybody off and date yourselves. That's what you want to do, because that's what it looked like. You people are really acting like silly at this point. And so nephew Tommy, he decides, he's like, you know, I'm going to give you gonna give you an out. He calls it a curveball, I call it an out. And I guess they're just trying to buy more time because stuff is not settling right. And I think this is why they rushed the episodes, or rather the next season onto this, rushed this season onto the prior season where there was no break in between. Because I dare say, we'll see, that they didn't really get much with this season. I don't know, I'm just saying, I'm guessing at this point, but it's not looking rich. It's not, and I don't mean like I'm waiting for someone to misbehave, because I'm not amused by Carmen, who's been painted as the villain right now. Like, her antics are not amusing, they're not funny, they're not cute, they're not entertaining. It just screams, I'm insecure, I'm insecure, I'm insecure. So it's not like I'm waiting for some bad behavior, but the whole thing is not gelling. It's like with each season, the gelling gets worse and worse and worse, where it literally looks like, you know, those games that they used to play on what was it called, MTV, when they would have like a red against blue side. That's what it looks like now. It doesn't look like a dating show, it just looks like a game show. Like, forget dating, just game show. Like, if they stop the music, who do I end up with? That's what it's looking like. So just that. So Uncle Nephew Tommy gives them an out there. Okay, well, he goes to curveball. He said, all right, no eliminations today. I'm going to put you guys up in a house for 2 nights. Let's see how the dust settles then. And that's the end of the episode, guys. I'm just looking. And I think also my energy about the whole thing, you know, recently heard Aisha and Dante, you know, our favorite couple of last season, broke up, and didn't just break up, but under really crazy, sus, you know, circumstance. I'm not here to speculate. I don't know what she said, he did this or he did that. Point here is that Aisha and Dante are broken up. So the whole thing just kind of left like a taste in my mouth. Like, okay, what's the point? Right? It's not entertaining if some couples are not successful. You know, it's because it begins to ask, it's like, did we miss? Yeah, it's like, are you guys, you know, really checking these people? Like, it's literally becoming like maths, marriage at first sight, where it's like at some point it's just like, you people are just accepting anybody. Oh, okay, you did this, I'm putting them together, and you know they don't go together, and then literally watching people abuse each other. Like, it's not there yet, boy. It's getting there, because like, yeah, all I can say, like, that was really disappointing. So I'm just looking at, when I heard that information, I'm just looking at this whole thing. One eye, like, what's the point? Like, you're all not going to end up together anyway. It's not like there's a pot at the end of the season and you get $1 million. There isn't. So why are you guys playing like this? They need to really, I guess with the next season, I don't know if they listen, but they may need to really do something drastically different to get our interest. Because I can't lie to you, I'm just looking like, I'm not looking at anything as sincere anymore. Everything looked like game. Like, everybody trying to get to the end so they can get off the season and pop up with some new product, books, you know, show something. I guess that's a reward for exposing themselves to this nonsense at this point. But guys, when we get the episode, let's see how this goes. But you can tell that I'm just looking like, because it's episode 8 and there are no real connections other than Joy and Clifton. How that happened? You already know that I didn't agree that Laverne should have gone home. I'm looking at Paul and Tori like, what? Like, Tori don't have any real connections. Real talk. Laverne they sent home had a real connection. The Tori sitting there, nobody is really interested in him. Let's not lie. Paul, Uncle Paul, okay. The key is humoring. The key is using The key is humoring him because she got no one on her leaderboard in the top. And then Carmen's using him because she don't really have anybody either. So they're all each other's backup. Alright guys, anyway, here we go. End of the episode. I appreciate you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Lola, over and out. Thanks for watching.